Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode of Nerd Soup. I'm Beau Oliver. This is Teddy. Aaron's been suspended for the week. Let's just get into the episode.
Oh, please understand.
Save, you can save.
You're so lucky I have a jaw like a steel beam.
Fucking guy thinks he's Crimson Chin over here. So, episode 2, Infected. Directed by Neil Druckmann, written by Craig Mazin, so they did a little flipperoo. And I was excited to see Neil Druckmann directing this episode. Coming into it, I think I knew that he was going to direct some episodes, but it's fun to watch someone who started with video games, co-director of the original game, take that jump to live action, and I thought he actually did a really good job. And the writing, too, the way they've established how dire this situation is. You feel it throughout all of these episodes, this unsettling, creepy feeling. And what's really helped that are these flashback sequences. Once again, widening the scope of the world. You're playing the game and you're wondering, how did this start? Where's the breakout? And now they tell you it was in Jakarta. And they show you patient 0, or maybe patient 1, because it seems that she was bit by somebody else who then went and spread the infection. I was, once again, blown away by the opening scene. I thought it was so great.
Dude, it was so scary because of how realistic it was. Like, I don't know who that actress was.
Christine Hakim,
but she sold that.
Yeah, the mycology professor. No, dude, when...
Nuke. Or bomb, whatever she said.
I was watching that scene unfold and just waiting for that answer because I was like, the right answer in this scene could send chills down my spine.
Thought the same thing. I was waiting for her to say pray or something, and I was like, that's corny.
Yeah, just her saying bomb. And then you see later in the episode that they bombed Massachusetts and it actually, or they bombed the city of Boston and it's one of the cities where it actually worked. So that's why they have that QZ zone where people were able to migrate there and find some refuge. But yeah, that, and the way she's investigating the body when she sees the
fungus is so like, just so good. I don't know how you make it realistic, but it is. It's like scary to look at when you see it.
Right.
Like a normal zombie, like if you're watching a show or a movie with zombies, just like, it feels like it's just so unrealistic. But I don't know what they did with this, but it's got me believing that it could happen, and it's like real.
It's tying it into this
idea. The way it moves, man. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and especially at the end when the one zombie goes to infect Tess before she gets off the bomb.
Is that what he was trying to do? I thought he was trying to get some.
That's what it made it sort of.
Like it was mating.
Yeah, exactly. It's more sensual. It almost makes it even more disgusting and perverse. It's more of, well, not sensual, but just more intimate, more intimately terrifying. It's not being bitten and ripped to shreds. You know, it's not being bitten and you turned. It's like a violation of your humanity, almost.
That's a good way to put it. That makes that scene a lot worse for me now. I was more unsettled because I thought it just looked weird. Like it was like making out with her.
No, yeah, it looks really creepy. It's disgusting. Even when the doctor finds the fungus in the mouth and she has to back away, that's what really spooks her because it's setting it home that cordyceps can now grow, manipulate, and turn human beings into zombies. It's a terrifying thing to have to deal with. And they make it feel so real. I was always impressed by that in the game, is that they attempted to make it scientific. Yeah. And I think they've done an even better job of that in the show.
It's such a blessing having Druckmann on here. It's not easy to adapt one to the other, whether it's movie to TV or movie to game or vice versa, however you put it. It's not easy to do it. And having the creator helps a lot, and you can see it because you can see how many shows and games flop when you don't have the creator on it.
Right, and it's like he gets another chance to perfect his story.
It's his story, exactly. It's like you're not. I love The Last of Us. I can't write something about it. I mean, I'm not a writer, but these guys are writers. But he knows something about this universe that it's his.
Right.
So it's like, why wouldn't you have him attached to it? And I'm so happy they have him because these first 2 episodes, man, it's picture perfect. It's the best taste you can have for what's to come, these first 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I think what they've nailed so well is the tone. That was a big thing coming into it that we were discussing. Is that relationship between Joel and Ellie going to feel authentic and genuine? Are the problems of the world going to feel real?
Right.
Like it's something that you can imagine happening in our world.
Having coronavirus helps too.
Yeah, right. It's sort of the perfect timing.
Parallels like unparalleled.
Yeah, they even call it a pandemic, and you look at the measures that they've had to take. It's a bit more extreme, but all of that really just worked out well for them.
I feel like there was two things that they had to get right for me, and was what you just said, the relationship between Ellie and Joel, because that was huge in the video game, and a big chunk of it was the stealth, trying to navigate through these walkers or clicks. I feel like they were called clickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all those sounds. Oh my God, the sounds.
Sound design was straight out of the game.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. There are certain things that you can adapt, like the spores. They've taken away the spores so they won't be wearing masks. But those zombie designs are incredible.
Oh my God.
So what do? You just bring that to real life. No CGI, practical effects. There's those great behind-the-scenes shots of Druckmann directing the zombies.
Wow.
But I'm excited to hear people's how people feel about the design of the zombies who haven't played the games. Did they come off as super scary like they did when we were playing? Because for me, it was a great adaptation. And just to compliment Druckmann's directing a little bit, I love how he played with our expectations in certain moments, like when Joel is loading up the revolver, and you're thinking, man, he needs to get those bullets in there before the clicker turns that corner and kills him, and you're on the edge of your seat, and then it pans and the clicker walks off in another direction. So he's playing with you. He's teasing you a bit.
Yeah.
And also the abject faces of fear he was able to pull from his actors during some of these moments where you look at them and they are certainly selling the reality of their situations in a lot of these moments.
That 1 second he has when he steps on the glass, that's right out of the game. When you're trying to be stealthy and you step on a glass and you alert the clicker.
Right.
And then you're screwed. Shit's the fan. That's what happened here.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to get into more of how the clickers are able to see that they use the echolocation. That's why they are clicking, but I imagine that's something that's information they may give the audience in episode 3, but just showing it, with Joel giving Ellie the sign, right, and then she just can't hold it back. It's that one breath that she takes that alerts the clicker, and that first scream scared the shit out of me. And it's something that, once again, that is coming as someone who's played the game, but you just get so lost in that moment because of how tense it was. And like you mentioned, with the stealth, having to creep around, people were joking that this proves that not being stealthy is the way to go. Just guns blazing, shooting up.
Yes and no, because I feel like they kind of covered their ass with that, because they say everyone's connected. So it's like you kill one, you might alert 30 of them, 50 of them.
How scary
they
is
might
that?
Wake up.
Yeah, you take one wrong move or you kill a zombie and you alert them.
I don't know what he was breaking, but the thing he broke outside the museum?
Yeah.
Was it the museum?
Yeah, it was.
And he said it was bone dry?
Right.
What is that? Is that like a root that like connects a lot of them?
Yeah, they describe that sometimes those roots can be connected to like a horde of zombies. And just stepping on one can alert not only that there are people active, but your exact location.
Oh,
so they come running. And then we saw that at the end. That was a little change from the story in the game, but a welcome change because of how frightening and terrifying it was. We knew that Tess wasn't going to make it so far in this show.
They kind of made it like that, though. I mean, that felt like it was coming, regardless.
Right.
Even if you didn't play the game. But
yeah.
She still made a good impact for the first 2 episodes.
Oh, no, she definitely makes that's what the game did so well, and now the show, that's what I kept thinking is you barely get any time with Tess, but her death feels so huge, and it is an even more epic moment. It's this epic sacrifice, and they're watching the burning building as they walk off. But Anna Torv, you can't say enough good things about her. I thought the casting all throughout has been great, and she was the perfect actress to bring Tess to life. And what I really liked is that they gave Tess and Ellie those moments of bonding.
Yep.
When she says, "You've got balls, kid," going into the mall by yourself, Ellie telling her about how she got infected. So those moments felt genuine as well.
Her treating her like an adult, it helps a lot with Ellie, because she knows that she's well above her age. You can't bullshit Ellie. So her sitting her down and talking to her like an adult really helps with Ellie. And even it's going to help with Joel too now.
Yeah, I think they've sort of figured that out in this episode, that she's a smart kid.
Yeah.
And she is capable. I got a kick out of when she asks for a gun and they both say no right away. And she goes, I guess I'll just throw a fucking sandwich at them.
Can I have a gun?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Jesus, fine. I'll just throw a fucking sandwich at them.
She's also been great.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling her at first. The one-liners were kind of getting annoying. Not annoying, but I felt like they were misplaced. But then now I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, all through the game, she has one-liners all game. So I'm kind of getting into it, because she is playing Ellie picture perfect.
You know what's funny is when she did the whole bit at the hotel, that's when I thought, okay, maybe they're leaning too much into her being the annoying little kid on the adventure. But then I saw a clip that's straight from the game, and I'm like, oh, damn, yeah.
Oh, I'll be checking in for one night, and I would like your finest suite, please.
What the hell are you doing?
Why, yes, you can take my luggage upstairs.
You are a weird kid.
I think it was more than that, though, because think about what age Sarah was when he lost her. You know, that's something a little kid would do. And it's like little things like that is what's going to make the Joel and Ellie relationship come together, because he's gonna eventually form a bond with her. You know, he sees that and it's like, wow, I'm starting to miss Sarah, and now he's gonna form that bond with Ellie.
Yeah, I thought their scene when Tess goes
upstairs, like the crack, right?
Yeah, I thought that interaction was a little stiff, but I guess that makes sense. Characters still trying to figure each other out, feel each other out. She's asking the personal questions. Eventually, she takes it too far. I thought the writing there could have been a little strong, but that's a tiny, tiny nitpick, because I think they've done a lot with the visual storytelling. Like when they're overlooking the city and she says, "You can't beat this view." And then Ellie goes down the ladder and Joel takes that quick glance down at his watch. So you can see, like you mentioned, she's starting to remind him of his daughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, the building blocks are there. It's starting to, look like the relationship that we know and love from the games.
I know they're on green screen, but these landscapes are amazing. I don't know what they're doing with it, but every
weird
shot
because
looks
it's
nice.
so clearly green screen, but I didn't mind it. I think they did a good job combining the practical. So they're walking around and he steps up on the rock to get a better view of things. So it's like, okay, some of these, the vegetation, some of it's real, and the landscapes aren't. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good enough. I'm glad that they took that approach of, we're not going to condense this. We're going to try to give you that experience from the game, where you are in abandoned cities and abandoned buildings.
It's kind of like how it's kind of like I Am Legend. That was all green screen, and that looked amazing.
Yeah, it's got that sort of...
The abandoned city, the bombed city. Like,
yeah, the movie quality of 10 years ago, which is good enough for television
TV show,
now.
right?
Yeah, but I thought the whole encounter with the clickers in the museum was so creepy, especially how slow they take everything.
Yeah.
And when they saw that one body who was cut up, motherfucker got attacked by Wolverine.
The first one?
Yeah.
Is it the first one, like the first soldier?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that fungus. Their design of the fungus is perfect. I have been more. That was probably top 3 most suspense I felt when they were trying to go through the museum.
Yeah.
In a TV show, at least. I had to turn the light on. I had the lights off and I dimmed it up a little bit because I was getting so nervous.
Yeah, it was done so well from the approach of keeping it stealthy, but when it does pop off, it is just...
You know what's going to happen eventually.
Right.
They did a good job of waiting, and like the timing of it was good. Do you think they're going to incorporate Joel's hearing? Or they can't do that, right?
No, I don't think
it was like superhuman in the game, but
right.
I don't know if they were going to twist something to make it seem like he had that, where you can hear him,
Yeah, I'm waiting for
that was
little
a big
things
part in
like
the game
that
too, though.
He picks up a bottle and throws it to distract them. They did a little bit of that. You throw it off to the side. And,
yeah.
But I like how they kept it where the clickers are blind, so they can only hear you, so you can be face to face with them, and that's when it got me going. Because of Ellie's gasp and then the zombie attacking them. And the zombies, they appeared a bit stronger.
They were like Olympics.
Yeah.
Olympians, dude.
It was more difficult to take them out. And people are complaining that he's got the automatic rifle. That in the game, you don't unlock that till the very end.
I mean,
no, there's going to be some differences. But I thought that whole encounter was really well done. And then Ellie being able to put it together there at the end that Tess is infected, once again showing her intelligence.
Oh, she caught her shit quick, dude.
But that was a very powerful scene as well, though the line from the trailer, "Save who you can save," you know that Joel's going to take that to heart. And the send-off there was so fucking tragic and sad. You can only imagine how much time these characters have spent with each other, forming this bond, this
almost
relationship.
20 years, man.
Yeah, and now it has to end abruptly. And Joel knows right away. He grabs her hand and they run off. You have no time to mourn in this world. You have to keep moving. That's how you survive. And also the interactions that Tess had with Ellie when they're overlooking all the infected and the lessons that she's instilling in Ellie there about how to survive and how to be an adult in this world. Everyone has to grow up a lot more quickly.
You know what's crazy is that we've only seen Joel for 2 days now, and he's been going through this for 20 years of just death and destruction around him. If you take us playing out of it and you're just watching it, I feel like they did a good job of showing where this is going to go with Joel and how beaten he is. And like, he just literally can't take it anymore.
Oh yeah, the foreshadowing has been really good. And the back and forths about the whole idea of creating a vaccine. Joel saying that we've heard this a million times before and nothing's ever come out of it. But Tess is holding on to that shred of hope. And when she does get infected, you see her desperation to find a map or the location of where this Firefly base is being set up. This is, you know, her sort of last hurrah to make up for all the bad that she's done by possibly giving humanity one last hope. And I like how they incorporated that she gets bitten again. And it shows Joel that, Ellie gets bitten again.
Yeah, now Joel sees it for himself, and like now he's on board with it. I mean, I think her getting bit, and I think that was his reason for accepting this and going. I think maybe she doesn't get bit and he doesn't see it eye to eye, that she's not infected. I think this goes a different way.
Joel's like, I need you to get bit one more time before I buy into this. 3 times the charm.
So did hers looked infected? Like, did she get bit a while ago, or did she get bit in that museum with the clicker?
No, I think she got bit in the museum. Okay. Yeah, I think they're keeping that from the games as well. I remember the games, she's like off in the distance, and you see her take out one of the clickers, and then later it's revealed that she was bitten. But a super emotional send-off for this. I know, right?
Imagine going this long and then getting clipped.
And I think Anna Tarv, I said on the first review that I thought she was the standout of episode 1. And in episode 2, her performance is so heartbreaking, especially after she gets bit. She has that confrontation with Joel where they have that spat, they're going back and forth. And just the jittery, panicky nature of the character of sitting by herself, contemplating the fact that she's only got a few more moments to live, hours, minutes, whatever it is. And it's like she's thinking, what can I do to make the most out of the time I have left? So when they rush into the Capitol and they don't see the Fireflies there, it sort of breaks her heart. But that's why, in comparison to the game, I think her sacrifice is more monumental, and it's more important for the character journeys of Joel and Ellie. Because like I mentioned, those final words that she gives to Joel, save who you can save, that's something that he's going to take to heart. And same thing with Ellie, when she's schooling her on, you can't be infected, but you can still die in this world, so you need to be vigilant. And I think that their short relationship was impactful for the audience and for the character of Ellie as well. So even though she can't continue on this journey with them, she's able to give them a head start. So there is something she can do in these final moments to help Joel and Ellie. It's not only about inspiring them to take on this mission, but also giving them an out here in a sticky situation. And Anna Torv, you can't really say enough good things about her, especially in these last few moments of the episode. One of the best performances of the series so far. I mean, it's only been 2 episodes, but she was so good in this role that I wouldn't have minded if they did diverge from the source material and kept her around for a few more episodes.
I don't know if I'd want that, because I feel like we need as much as we can with Joel and Ellie.
Right. And it shows that anyone can die in this world.
Don't matter who you are in this world.
Right. And man, I fucking hate it when characters can't flicker a light.
I know, and they get the last possible second.
It makes me so anxious.
Just get it the first time. Come on.
Reminds me of all those nights outside in the cold trying to light a cigarette or some shit. Just can't fucking do it. Fuck, man. Fuck. You know what was really great about this episode too is how the world has been destroyed. It's a post-apocalyptic world, and it's still falling apart. So you can be in an abandoned museum, and the roof can cave in. And that's going to bring clickers to your direction.
Right.
It's not just the people who are broken, but it's the world itself. The infrastructure is literally crumbling, and that can be your downfall. So you have to be constantly aware, so wary of everything around you. I thought they were going to chew Ellie out after she did that whole bit at the hotel. It's like, yo, why the fuck are you making noise?
That's what I was waiting. I thought the same thing, but then I'm like, well, they opened the door pretty abruptly. They're walking through water. I was like, a little ding-ding isn't going to...
Yeah. I thought that was funny, too, when Joel's like, you serious? The water only comes up to your knees. She's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Yeah, you know, it was a funny one when they're looking for the flashlight, and he asks if Marlene only packs sandwiches. If you have you got a flashlight too, or you only have sandwiches?
Yeah, I thought their back and forths, for the most part, were funny and charming. And like I said, authentic. That's the key word, is this relationship you have the games to look at, so you're constantly going to be compared. So is it going to feel as real and genuine as those games? And I think for the most part, they've done a good job of that.
I want to shed some light on Pedro Pascal too, because he is doing a great job. And it's very easy with the role of Joel to be the grumpy old man, to not feel what he's been through and just think that he's just being a grump and he doesn't want to do this because he's all for himself. Like he genuinely doesn't want to do it because he is so broken that he doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to fight anymore. And now he's being pushed. This is like his last gasp.
Yeah, even when he says, I've killed many clickers in the past. This is not his first rodeo. But he definitely portrays that wariness of being somebody in this world who's so good at surviving. It's almost a curse, being this capable of killing.
Right.
And this capable of being vigilant and enduring. So yeah, it definitely feels like, I think it's more so not that it's dangerous, but nothing is going to come out of it. Because
Right.
what good has come his way the past 20 years?
Who knows? Maybe he been on one of these vaccine things where there was a girl that, or there was a vaccine that's ready to go. We just got to get so-and-so to somewhere. You know, he may
That's
have
a
done
good
a
point.
couple of trips like that in the 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at this world and it's hard to believe in anything rather than yourself and maybe one other person who's close to you.
Yeah.
But that line is going to be so important. Save who you can save.
Yeah.
And I think that it was the perfect way to end that relationship, even though it is super sad. And she leaves such a lasting impression. But back to your point of adapting something, it's not easy, even when you have the source material. And I think that's where Druckmann really helps it. You know, he's the one who initially wrote Tess's death in the story. So now he gets a second chance at it. And I think he nailed it again to where I think it's actually the better version of her send-off.
If you sit back and think about it, this is another zombie show. You know how many times we've seen this? And he's somehow doing it better than we've seen it before. I told a friend of mine to watch it, and I gave him the premise. He was like, "Oh my god, another zombie!" And I told him all I said was zombie, and he's like, "I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a precious cargo that they have to move from A to B." I'm like, yeah, but this is a lot more than that. So it's like,
yeah, but the precious cargo is funny and delightful and a really cool character.
I know, but it's like, for people who don't know the show, I really hope you give it a chance because it's not like what you've ever seen.
Right. I think it's something that turns people off and also turns people on. Ooh, a zombie show. I'm interested in that. And another zombie show. But you almost have to tell people, I'm not trying to shit on The Walking Dead, but this is the good version of The Walking Dead.
I mean, The Walking Dead had what, like 4 or 5 good seasons before it got bad? Well, it was a good show.
Yeah, it was. It definitely had a strong start. But I think this one, the main appeal for this show is the characters. And I think that's where people are going to realize, okay, it's got some cliches and some things that I've seen before in other zombie shows, but the characters are the bleeding heart of the series.
I didn't want either episode to end.
I know, dude. I'm so ready to just jump into it or play the games. We said that on our first review.
I could go for the game right now.
And further establishing the Fireflies and what their deal is, you know, they walk in on them and Ellie's thinking, did somebody get to them? Was it Fedra? Was it the military? And Joel's like, no, one of them got affected and they all just killed themselves.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrifying.
I know.
All right, guys, before we finish this episode, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Smile Brilliant. Hey, look, I'm a floating head. Give me a minute of your time and you'll learn all you need to know about teeth whitening gimmicks. Let's start with LED whitening lights, a novelty item that doesn't enhance your results, it merely makes peroxide work faster, but not better. Next is whitening strips, a popular choice, and while effective, they can lead to stains along gum lines, crevices, and do not reach the molars. After whitening, you'll find your remaining stains more visible. Not good. Charcoal sounds good on paper, but it's abrasive and wears down tooth enamel. And finally, whitening toothpaste, a product that works only on surface stains, and like charcoal, is abrasive. So you're probably asking yourself the question, what works? Well, I'll show you. Head on over to smilebrilliant.com and check out their custom-fitted teeth whitening trays. Simply order the kit, make your impressions, and ship it off to Smile Brilliant's lab. Their lab is digital, so your impressions are stored on file for easy reordering in case you lose your trays. Shipping is free, and results are backed by a money-back guarantee. Plus, their whitening products are far less expensive than alternatives found at the dentist, so you can brighten your smile without breaking the bank. Smile Brilliant also has you covered with teeth care products ranging from mouth guards, electric toothbrushes, whitening gel, water flosser, and more. In addition to that, you can receive 20% off your order when using promo code NERDSOUP at checkout. So, don't wait. Head on over to their website, choose the products that are right for you, and take care of your teeth.
I can't stop thinking about that opening scene, dude. Just the start. It's hard enough to think of a scenario of how something like this would start. They were so vague yet so precise.
Yeah, that's a
You know
good
what I
way
mean?
to put it. They shed some light on the origin, but it's still ambiguous because of that patient zero. They don't know where he or she went. They don't know how it spread. The gentle zoom in on the doctor's face before she gives that answer, which just thinking about it is giving me chills. It was the perfect fucking response. Blow it all up, man. We ain't containing this.
I know.
And the fear on the military man's face.
He's like, gotta be serious.
You're telling me to do this? Normally it's the regular citizens who are saying, hey, don't jump to conclusions here.
You got to think we get more flashbacks, right? After the doctor comes out and says that. Like, is there like a widespread news? Do we see the bombings happen? I'm trying to think if we saw that in the game or not.
This seems like something that they've added in. But even the idea of her saying we need to bomb these cities and then going to the present day and we see what that destruction was like.
What the bombing did?
Right. I think that's good enough. You know,
Right.
You see the imprint that it's left and the destruction of the city. And this is where it fucking worked. Can you imagine where the cities where it didn't work, what they look like?
Dude, that shot when they're on the building and they find out they can't go the long way was terrifying.
Yeah, with all the fucking bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Is there any feeling, is there any ounce of you that would want to be a part of this world just to see how you would do in it?
No, absolutely not. It's similar with Game of Thrones. You watch Harry Potter, oh, I'd love to be in Harry Potter, even though the school's always being harassed by Voldemort and his Death Eaters and shit. But I'd still love to be a wizard.
Yeah.
But you watch Game of Thrones, you're like, fuck no, I don't want to be in this world.
I don't want to be part of that either.
Dornish prince with no responsibilities. And like Walking Dead, you watch it and you think, oh, I could make it in this world. There's just something about it where, yeah, you give me a shotgun, give me a canteen of water, I'll elbow grease it. This world, no. It's so much more depressing and defeated and bleak.
That's a good point. It does feel like that.
That's the realism that you get. As far as you can take that of what would happen if this really happened in our world. And I think they've really nailed it.
Part of me just wanted to be in the museum, and I want you to take GW's cape and stuff and his outfit.
You're gonna walk around like George Washington. You're gonna try and.
I just want to go around looting and not get in trouble.
Oh, dude, you'd become one of those fucking ravengers so quick. One of those cannibalistic scavengers.
Cannibalism,
dude. When you're
I
hungry,
gotta throw that in there. I can
all
hunt.
right, not a cannibal, but
I can hunt. I do really like how tight it is with the characters. You know, like you don't have 3 other stories happening. It's one story. You focus on these 2, and you get it right. And that's what they're doing right now.
yeah, they've done a good job building up the peripherals of the world with these flashback sequences, giving us a bit more information. But it really is about the characters, and it was about Joel, Ellie, and Tess in this episode. And it was a realistic way to inspire Tess to try and inspire Joel to take Ellie out west because they see her get bitten again, and she's still cured. So it's that little slither of hope, and I think they established that in this episode. So
all you need is hope, man.
Yeah, right.
That's all you need.
So seeing Tess's sacrifice, Joel has no other choice at this point to continue on. You know, it's not only for humanity, but it's for Tess. And sometimes that's more powerful in situations like this. It's not about saving the world, but it's about finishing the job to honor your lover's legacy, your friend's legacy.
Oh my God, could you imagine now life without an iPhone and maps? I ain't getting around.
Oh, dude, I had the sense of directions of a donkey. And sorry to take shots at donkeys. I don't know if they have good sense of. I just imagine they don't.
All I got is east and west, and north and south. That's it. Other than that, if I don't see a sign that's telling me which way I'm going, I'm done.
Looking up at the moon. Yeah, that's the North Star, right? It's the brightest one. Yep, we're heading north. I wonder if that would all kick in. You remove that technology and you don't have to worry about who's liking your tweets or who's poking you on Facebook. That's an outdated reference.
Poke. Jeez.
You just worry about real life shit.
How far behind are you?
I deleted my Facebook a while back.
Yeah, poking's done, dude. Like, I would like to be alive to see how I do, but then another part of me is like, just get it over with. I don't want to deal with this.
You know what? I feel like I'm cursed, and I would get so lucky, and I would have to survive in this world. I would live until I'm 80 with the fear hanging over me of being killed by a zombie or being murdered by the military.
The quarantine zone doesn't seem like it's so bad. You know, you got your 9 to 5.
Yeah, until you try and, take a leak and you get arrested and hung.
Dude.
Military tribunal.
Like, those people were hung because they tried leaving?
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal.
They don't fucking play, man. I saw a lot of memes of Ellie waking up with guns in her face. They were just immediately pressing her after that nap. That quick cut to Joel and Tess. Both have the fucking the choppers
Pressed,
on her.
ready to go.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to incorporate that aspect to the game. I didn't think of that. Like the building and the crafting you have to do.
I think so. Yeah,
I
eventually.
feel like you have to, right? That's a big part of the video game.
Right, making those little nail bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Molotovs. Because I think that adds to the world of you have to make
Think on the fly, man. You got to be quick.
Right, yeah.
Precise.
Makeshift weapons, different strategies that they can use. I think those are fun little things they could incorporate from the game. A little nod.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you got to go around. The only way you can fight is if you have all your shit. But it's like maybe you put him in a basement, and he sees some ingredients to make it, and he makes it quick and.
Right, you get shot in the shoulder, and you just kind of wrap it up with one of the first aid pack, and all of a sudden you're full health.
Yeah.
Damn, this Joel, I didn't know you were a
He's
medic,
like
Joel.
that.
Yeah, this man is nice. Yeah, those would be fun, and I think the way they did the stealth and them being exposed in this episode was perfect. That's as good as it can be. But I'm really excited about some gnarly kills. I want to see Joel really fuck some of these guys up. And I know they said they were going to scale back a bit on the violence, but just a scene or two of Joel just letting loose on these clickers and these zombies.
Like if the video game was a 10, I want to see a scale back to like 7.5.
Right,
and I don't need to see a 10. You know, I don't need the shock value. I feel like the shock value is in the zombies they're making. They're scary as shit. I mean, that's all I gotta say.
The way they were moving.
Yeah.
And then when Ellie pretended that she was one, she was actually pretty good at it.
But that little back and forth that Ellie says to Joel or Tess, they say it's to Joel when she says like, "Is it hard when you think about them how they were somebody before?" And it was like when one of those clickers, it was like a real clear shot of their face when he goes to kiss Tess, and it's like you can kind of make out his face, and it's like I thought back to what she said to him, and I was like, man, that is kind of sad because they were a human before, and now look at them. They're a zombie now. Man, that was a person before.
Right, and other zombie shows, it's a zombie, you have to kill him, you have no choice. But the fact that they're mentioning stuff like that, it makes it a bit more interesting. It gives you something to
more
mull
depth.
on. Right, yeah.
I mean, I got depth on a zombie right now. Would have thought that.
But you also see a bit of Joel's humanity still there.
Yeah.
There's a light still flickering because he says, yeah, sometimes you do think about that when you have to take them out. And like I said, in other shows, it's not something maybe they would mention, but that's the reality that they're dealing with, that all these zombies are first victims. So much has been robbed of them. I guess you can rationalize it as putting them out of their misery, but you still hold the weight of killing another person or taking somebody's life.
At least they try and make you feel like that. You're not going to not kill them faster. It's just the fact that now you're thinking about you're thinking about a zombie's life before it was a zombie.
Right. Yeah, and it's more so the aftermath.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got away, we killed them, but damn, I just killed somebody that was once living. Yeah, that's a good point by you. Got any more?
Oh, you know what I wanted to see quick?
All right, guys, that does it for this episode of Nerd Soup. Yeah, for Beau Oliver, I am Teddy. I mean, damn, for Teddy, I am Beau Oliver. My head's still hurting me. I'm still in recovery. So, yeah, this was another good episode, and we'll see you here next week for episode 3. Hopefully, if any of us are still alive.
I'm just saying, if I see Aaron around here again, I'm going to shove a golf club up his...
Wow, that was probably our best review yet. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey here with a brief shameless plug before we end the video. Do you ever feel like you don't have an adequate amount of nerd soup in your life? Like you're going to bed hungry and yearning for the nonsensical yet entertaining nutrients our podcasts provide? Well, we've come up with the perfect solution. The Nerd Soup Fan Question Podcasts, exclusively available to our Patreon supporters. You can sign up now by visiting patreon.com/nerdsoup, and for the price of only $1 per month, you'll receive exclusive access to our weekly podcast where we answer your questions that don't make it to the main show. And while you're there, you can check out the other rewards we offer to our patrons, like stickers, mugs, t-shirts, behind-the-scenes footage, and appearing in the credits at the end of our videos. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Roll the names of the nerds who make Nerd Soup possible. The reason why the crypto crash didn't send our lives spiraling down a black hole of no return. Alright, I'll stop talking so you can listen to this jazzy-ass music while checking if Beau spelt your name wrong in the credits.